Hey, Ryan here. A few weeks ago, I went to a train show with my friends Coldifell1, GTSH Productions, Thomas Rainbow Fan, and Gordimus 3. We spent the weekend hanging out, and we also built this take-along layout you're looking at. But while I was at the train show, I coincidentally ended up buying a lot of merchandise of one specific character, Jack the Front Loader. So I decided it would be fun to make a video about all of the merch I have of Jack. I'll be reviewing each piece of merch individually, so let's get into it. The first Jack I ever got is this Takealong Jack. I really like this toy. It's very detailed, definitely shaped like Jack, and it has this magnet in the rear. This allows you to connect Jack to trains and trucks. This isn't something that happens in the show, but I remember it being fun to play with when I was a kid. Side note, this part of Jack's bucket broke when I was younger. I don't remember how it happened, and it kinda sucks, but I'm just glad it's still attached right here. Probably the only complaint I have with this Jack is that the bucket is not hollow. However, it is still magnetic, so you can use it to connect to trains or certain pieces of cargo. I just like when you can use Jack's bucket to actually pick up things inside of it. Now on a more positive note, here's two things I really like about this Jack. First, this is the only Jack I'll be showing today that has see-through glass windows. The rest are all painted on. Second, his face is super detailed, so much so that they even painted his tongue. This is such a random detail, but in my opinion, it really helps bring Jack to life. The second Jack I got is the 2013 Wooden Railway Jack. I can't say I'm a huge fan of this one. The wheels are all black, and on a construction vehicle, the wheels take up a lot of visual space, so it's important for them to look good. Also, when Jack returned in CGI, his face became a square, and I'm not a huge fan of that change. Once again, this Jack has a magnetic bucket and a magnetic coupler at the back. I'm a fan of this, but not a fan of this. I do think it's cool though that on the Wooden Railway Jacks, you can press down the cab to move the arm. Unfortunately, despite that, I still have to say, this is the worst Jack we're going to look at in this video. I'm still very grateful to have it though. The third Jack I ever got is this Fisher-Price Trackmaster Jack. I have mixed feelings on this one. I think he's a bit too tall, and this is definitely the worst Jack face we're going to see today. It barely even looks like him. But on the bright side, his bucket is hollow, so kids playing with this toy could use it to dig real dirt or sand. And I think that's a key feature for a toy front loader to have. Now, on to the Jacks I got at the train show. Right off the bat, I found this. The first table I went to was Terrence the Tractor 525's, and he was selling this take-and-play Jack with the box. It's not new in box, it's been opened before, but it was for a great price, and I couldn't refuse. If I gently take it out of its box, you can immediately see there are some big differences to the take-along one. The windows are no longer glass, the wheels aren't as detailed, and I like the face on the old one much better. On the bright side, the take-and-play Jack has a hollow bucket, which I much prefer. I'm neutral about them changing the undercarriage from black to red. Obviously black is show accurate, and I think it's the better option, but for some reason, I don't hate the red. Next up, I got the hit toy company Trackmaster Motorized Jack from Arsdale Marina's table. Shout out to Dusty Marie 53 for helping me set up this purchase in advance. That way, nobody snagged Trackmaster Jack before I got there. So, let's address the elephant in the room. This Jack is quite fat, boxy, and disproportionate. That's because he's housing a motor. With just one AAA battery, this Jack can move under his own power. Between the battery-powered motor and the hollow bucket, I'd venture to say this is the best Jack a kid could have to play with. I know I definitely wanted this Jack when I was a kid. And if you can look past the terrible proportions, it's hard to find anything else that's wrong with him. He's very detailed, and his face definitely looks like Jack from the show. Now for the final Jack in my collection. The 2004 Thomas Wooden Railway Jack. Me and my friends were about to leave the train show when we stopped at one last vendor. I saw this Jack in a bin of trains and realized I'd already bought two Jacks that day. That is when I had the idea for this video. Holding the two wooden Jacks side by side, you can really see what a downgrade the newer one was. I appreciate the older one's painted wheels, painted roof, and model series face. He really looks good next to the Alfie I have. There is a strange flaw with this Jack. He can't lift his bucket very high. In fact, if you want him to load something into Max or Monty, he has to pop a wheelie, or you have to use your imagination. It looks like they fixed this problem on the newer Jack, which is super cool. Wooden Railway is such a well-made toy line, so this oversight feels really shocking. Maybe it's a manufacturing limitation, or maybe there's something wrong with this particular Jack that I bought. If you have a 2004 Jack, let me know in the comments how high its arms can go. Now here's all the jacks ranked from least to most show accurate, including faces, details, proportions, everything. I think Takealong's the clear winner here. And here's all the jacks ranked from least to most fun for a kid to play with. In my opinion, a jack that can move on his own and pick up things in his bucket takes the cake. So that's my jack collection for now. I want to get the Ertl one at some point, and maybe even the Bandai Tex one. Let me know in the comments which of these jacks is your favorite. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.